Now it's time to pack for your cruise. What do you even take?
So being that we go down the night before our cruises, we've never flown to a cruise port. We always drive down and we go down a day early just to make sure that we're there on time and we have not encountered any kind of road traffic that's going to prevent us from getting on board our ship. So instead of taking our cruise luggage into the hotel with us, I try to simplify how my processes are. So we always pack just a canvas bag, duffel bag, whatever you have. This is our overnight hotel bag. In this bag, I will have pajamas and whatever we need in the hotel that night, as well as our clothing for the next day to board the ship. Once we wake up the morning of the cruise, we no longer need this bag. So this bag will then stay in the car, and when we get to the cruise port, all we now deal with is our cruise luggage. That way you're not having to open up all those suitcases at the hotel, pull things out. You can leave them securely in your car and not even worry about them till cruise day. The second thing that I always bring into the hotel, basically 2 bags is what I have. The canvas bag with our overnight stuff and a book bag. Inside this book bag, I will have, let's see, like my little makeup kit. Inside that kit, I'll have all my makeup, lotions, toothbrushes, anything like that that you need. Just the typical stuff. And I did purchase these little things off of Amazon. They're just little silicone shampoo. Excuse me, guys, I'm fighting off cold. Cut. I think I'm gonna live. I also purchased these little plastic zippered totes that came with the silicone bottles inside. And when I purchased them, they each had 4 in them. I've kind of narrowed it down just to save on some weight. So my husband has a bag, I have a bag. In there, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, whatever it is that you bring. Same with mine and my bars of soap, my face soap and my body soap. These go down in this book bag. My hair dryer, straightener, hairbrushes, whatever you need to get dressed in the morning. I will empty all these things out into the bathroom, and then this bag becomes my port bag. So it's now an empty book bag that I use in port on port days to put my water bottle, any trinkets that we may buy, beach towels, whatever it is that I actually need in port. So this I always put my cruise documents down inside the bag as well. You have to keep your documents handy at all times. You do not pack these items in your luggage. You have to have these to get on board the boat. You will have to present these over and over and over again before you actually board your ship. So whatever you do, do not put them in your suitcases because you won't have access to them after the porters take them. So this little pouch was what I bought from the Dollar Tree when we were sailing with just birth certificates. It's a little plastic folder, has a little snap on it, keeps it all neat and clean and somewhat protected from any kind of spills or whatever. Since getting our passports, I did upgrade a little bit, and I think I spent maybe $12 on this little zippered pouch. Got it on Amazon, because if you can't get it on Amazon, you don't need it, right? This little thing has a little handle on it, which I like. You can take it off and on if you wanted to. It has a little pocket on the outside. You can put whatever you like in there. Typically, I put my boarding pass folded up, put it down inside there. And on the inside, as you see, it has spots for your passport, and it's got multiple spots, but I only need 2. It has also on this side spots for credit cards, debit cards, whatever it is that you want to carry, a place for your driver's license, and on the inside, 2 zippered pouches, again, for whatever documents or whatever things you want to have in there. And again, I think I paid $11 for this. When I bought it, I paid special attention to the measurements of this little guy because I typically carry a small purse with me to have on board the ship. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But this little pouch will fit nicely down inside that purse. And so just one less thing to have to carry. It fits down in the pocketbook, and it's just one little thing you have to carry. Oh, I forgot on the back there's also a zipper. Since we're talking about suitcases, one of the, I would say, is a needed item that I purchased. I got these off of Amazon. They're little clear plastic, have a little zipper on top and a wire hanging tag that attaches to your suitcase handle. These are, I think when I bought it, it was a pack of 5 for maybe $5. And they are for putting your luggage tag inside. When you do your cruise check-in a couple weeks prior to your cruise date, you will, at the end of that process, be able to print your cruise tags as well as your boarding pass. Those cruise tags are just paper, clearly, because you printed them on the printer. The way you're instructed to do, or suggested to do rather, is just cut them out and just tape them to your handle. Well, I'm always afraid those things are going to get torn off. So with these little handy pouches, I don't have to worry about that. I've never had any trouble with these whatsoever. So this, I highly recommend getting. It's just a cheap little cruise thing that I think will be a great help to you. So now we will talk a little bit about the things that I consider a must-have while on board the ship. When you get on board, outside of your stateroom, there'll be an envelope. And inside that envelope, you will have this little card, a card like it. It will have just basic information about your cruise on it. It will have your name. It will be a, whatever you call that, like a barcode thing on it. And this cruise card is your lifeline. It is how you will purchase anything on board. It is how you will, the key entry to your room. It is how you will get on and off the boat during your port days. So this is one of those things that you use constantly while on board the ship. So I like to keep this handy. I mean, yes, you can put it in your pocket, but I'm always afraid that's going to fall out. So this little card is very important that you keep it with you, and very important that you keep it secure. So lanyards are not just a middle school, high school thing anymore. On board a cruise ship, it is a fashion statement. Everybody has some sort of lanyard that they use. Mine was just, I got off Etsy a while back. I love it. And my husband just used a regular, paracord braided one. So these can be found at the dollar store, Walmart. You can order them online. They will have them for sale on board the ship. But regardless of how you get one, I strongly suggest that you have some type of lanyard. They also make some little wrist coil lanyards as well. But just to me, these are a great little thing to have. If you don't already know, your cruise ship room, no matter really which room you get, is going to be very small. Not miserably small, but space is going to be at a premium. There are two versions of travelers. One version is the individuals that decide to live out of their suitcase for the duration of their trip. And the other version of travelers are the people that like to unpack and store their items in the drawers and cabinets that may be provided in the room. In my opinion, it makes for a better experience on board if things are neatly organized. So I tend to be the person that takes everything out and puts them in their place. So this part of the video is going to show you just some little things that I have found that has been very helpful in organizing our stateroom. The first thing are these little metal hooks. I don't know if you can see that or not. They're magnetic. These pack a mighty little punch, actually. They're able to hold small purses. They're able to hold our lanyards. They're able to hold baseball hats, whatever lightweight things you have. But they have some pretty good holding power, actually. So I bought these on Amazon, and I think I got 6 in a pack for less than $10. I mean, it was probably more like $5 or $6, but these have been very handy. I recently upgraded and just got these this week, and these are rated to withstand weights of 50 pounds. These I got in a pack, and let's see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and it was less than $10. So I'm going to test these out on our cruise in March, and I have to let you know how these are. But I've used them on my refrigerator just to kind of see, and they clearly hold more weight than just the little ones do. But I still plan on bringing the little ones and the big ones. So your stateroom walls will be made of metal. So these magnetic hooks will stick to those walls, and as well as the door to your stateroom. So if you wanted to hang something on your door, these are kind of the suggested method to do it. They don't really like you to put tape and whatnot on the walls. One of the other things that I strongly suggest packing is a little surge protector type thing. You will find in your room they have limited outlets to charge your stuff. I mean, your Apple Watches, your cell phones, your iPads, hair dryers, whatever you need to plug in. It's just nice and handy, especially when you've got multiple people in the room and you only have 2 outlets usually. This will come in handy. I bought this our first cruise, you know, a few years ago, and we have used this religiously and found that we really needed it. Talking about room organization, one of the things I purchased at our first cruise was one of these little over-the-door shoe organizers. That little thing has probably been one of, if not the most favorite useful things that I've bought for organizing our cruise room. As you see, it has hooks that just go over the door there, and I usually hang them on the outside of the bathroom door. And inside the pockets, I will take all the things that were in my toiletry bag, and I put them down inside all the little slots, all my makeup, my medicines, hair tools, and it just, I think this one has, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 spots, and we usually use all of those. So this clears up the counters in your bathroom. You'll find that the counter space in a cruise room is very, very, very limited. So having this just really helps to keep your things organized and clear up that counter space. So what to do with all those cruise clothes that you've been wearing and have no hamper to put them in? This little thing is great because it folds up flat to put in your suitcase, and when you're on board the boat, this just hangs out in the corner of your room, and you put all your dirty clothes down in there. And then on the final day of your trip, when you're packing to go home, we usually just take this whole entire bag and lay it in one of the bigger suitcases and zip the suitcase up. And it's just, it keeps all the dirty clothes in one spot instead of just like laying everywhere, because that would drive me absolute nuts. So this little bag, again, very, very inexpensive. I think there was 2 in the pack for maybe $10, $12. Super great find. Okay, these are our little extras. These are things that Wendy needs. They drive my husband crazy, but he knows I can't sleep without it. So the first item that I'm going to talk about is this handy dandy travel fan. I'm not going to put this on the list of must-haves for everyone. This is just, like I said, a must-have for me personally. We took, I turned it on. There we go. We used to take a plug-in smaller desktop fan, but that thing was so bulky, and we ended up having to put it in our carry-on luggage just because it was too big to put in a suitcase. And that just created more bulk and more weight for us to carry. And Brandon found this fan on Amazon, and it's, as you see, it's super, super flat. It recharges with a little USB. It has a little hook on it. I don't know if you can see that right there. We've not really used that because it does have a stand. As you see there, it just folds out, sits on your desk or whatnot. It has a light. I've not really used that, but it is there. And it doesn't have to be plugged in to use it. And we tested it when we first got it to see how long the battery would last or the charge would last. And not being plugged in, it would last an entire night of sleep and still be going in the morning when we woke up. But I typically just leave it plugged in where it's at, so it's charging as it's being used. And this sucker puts out a lot of air, but it also is the noise that I need to sleep. So this to me is a nice thing to have in the room, but again, not one of the things that I would say, oh, you have to purchase this. It's just nice for me. I do not typically buy the drink package because we do not drink enough for it to be worth it. On board the ship, there will be machines that have unlimited water, unlimited ice. They also have lemonade and tea, not the Southern tea, so don't get excited. They have juices in them in the mornings, and sometimes in the afternoon if they still haven't changed it out. But the cups that are sitting beside the machine for you to use are smaller than our grandchildren's sippy cups. Probably 6 to 7 ounces is all they carry. And I am a very big water drinker, so those cups are not going to work for me. I bought just a water bottle. I use it daily at home, just all the time. These bottles are beside me. But on a cruise, these are terrific because you can fill your water bottle up and carry it around with you. Bring it to your room, have it by your bed, and it's, of course, a lot bigger than what the little cups are that the cruise offers. And I found, because I kind of got tired of carrying it, and I was like, I need a little bag, if I can find one, to put my bottle in. So, again, a little bag that I found on Amazon. Big handle. I wear it as a crossbody. And this bottle fits nicely down inside the bag. And it also has on the front pockets for whatever you want. If we have the drink package, which we have done a couple of times, mostly on Norwegian, just because you can't beat it really. I don't carry this bottle with me. It usually stays in my room. I do bring it on board the ship, but it usually stays in my room because the drinks are going to be plentiful. Everywhere you turn around, there's going to be a bar that you can get bottles of water, you can get sodas, you can get the alcoholic beverages if you want to do that. So I don't really need to have a bottle with me at all times because everywhere I look, I can get something to drink. So this is kind of a sometimes needed item. It just depends. Depends on if I got the drink package or not. So let me talk about my little purse here. Just a little bag I got on Amazon. It's got a couple zippers. It's made out of a good kind of a canvas type fabric. Again, I wear everything as a crossbody just because that's just what I like. This bag, and I've tried several different types. I tried the cute little wicker bags. I've tried other types of purses, but I needed something that was functional because I'm more into function than fashion. And the reason why I carry this on the ship it is a purse, but I carry it because I'm addicted to chapstick, and I keep my chapstick in there. Also my cell phone so that I can take pictures or videos. Anything I want to carry around for the day, it fits in here. So as I told you earlier, the little black passport folder fits perfectly down inside my purse if I need to carry it. So jewelry organizer. You notice the theme, I love black. I'm so plain. This little jewelry organizer was found on Amazon. How many times have I said that in this video? It has a little snap closure on it, and it has, let me turn it around. Has space for your earrings, has space for your bigger earrings, a little zippered pouch here, a little zipper pouch there, a spot for rings. And my favorite thing, which kind of necessitated me trying to find something like this, was I had complaints that my necklaces would get tangled up if I just like threw them in a travel bag. This keeps all that straight, and I never have any issues with anything being tangled up. This again was less than $15. I see it on sale a lot on Amazon, but this has been really, really nice. This video was and is not supposed to be about the quantity of clothes that you bring or the types of clothes that you bring, because clearly all cruises will be different depending on your location that you're leaving and where you're going to. So a cruise that may be going to the Caribbean is going to require different things than if you're going to Alaska. So the things that I've pointed out today are things that you can universally use on every cruise, no matter where you go. So our first cruise, I remember I packed like 9 pair of shoes, and probably that was about almost all the shoes I have in my closet, because I wanted a different pair of shoes for each outfit, and I was trying to match things up because it was our first cruise and I wanted it to be special. And I found out quickly that I packed way too much because it was just too hard to manage. So I've kind of simplified things, and I will tell you now that I typically bring about 3 pairs. I will bring a pair of tennis shoes, comfortable walking shoes, whatever you like to walk in. I bring those as 1 pair. And again, on cruise day, I'm wearing a pair of these, whichever ones I choose, but I have 1 on my feet. Therefore, I'm only packing 2 additional pairs of shoes. I will pack a pair of shoes that can get wet, whether it be these little croc, rubbery sandals, or a true pair of water shoes. Just depends on what you like. I will suggest packing a pair of water shoes if you have a beach day, because a lot of the beaches that we've been to tend to be somewhat rocky. So it's nice to have those if you plan on going swimming. But these are even great on the pool deck, or if you have a spa pass or something. So a pair of shoes that can get wet. The third pair of shoes that I bring are, let's see, there we go, are just a basic neutral pair of dressy little sandals. I would also suggest they be very comfortable, because the ship, whether you're taking a small cruise ship or a massive cruise ship, you are going to find that you're going to be walking a lot. So any shoe that I bring, I make sure that they are tested, tried, and approved. They are not going to cause blisters on my feet. My feet are sensitive. So the reason I suggest neutral is no matter what I choose to wear for dinner, I can wear these shoes and they match. So feel free to bring as many as you want, but limiting it a little bit will help a long way in your packing. Another thing that I pack, again, not clothes related, but just generalized cruise needs, is just a pullover or a jacket of some kind, a sweater, cardigan, whatever you think that you like. Even if you are going in August and you're going to the Caribbean, I promise you, sometimes on board the ships, especially in the evening, if you go walk out on the deck, it is very breezy and can be really, really cool outside. So having just a little sweater, I forgot it back in January. I had no warm clothes, and granted it was January, but I should have planned better, and I forgot to bring my sweater with me. So this is definitely a must-have on every cruise, no matter the time of the year or your destinations. Okay, this one's for the guys. Unfortunately, I think you guys get a bad deal. When you go to dinner on a cruise ship, you will have, well, let me first say, every cruise is different. Some cruises have something called, oh my gosh, what is it that Norwegian calls it? Freestyle cruising. And with freestyle dining on that particular cruise line, you can go to any dining room. There is no set dining time. You just go to dinner whatever time they open to whatever time they close, and it's usually a pretty big window. You go to dinner whenever you want to. You don't have to make reservations. You do not have an assigned time that you have to be there. There are no formal nights on Norwegian. However, they do have kind of an expectation that you dress a little on just the respectable side. Now on Carnival, they will have what they call formal nights. And depending on how long your cruise is, it could be either one night, two, or multiples. And women can get away with like the sandals that I've shown you, or a sundress, or even like dressy type shorts. Men, on the other hand, cannot wear, let me rephrase that. They can wear dress shorts, like golf type shorts or cargo shorts. I've seen it. And they don't typically fuss too much about that. However, they will limit your ability to go dine in the dining room if you have on like soccer type shorts, the little silky sports type shorts. They don't approve of that. Any tank tops, they don't really, according to their list, they don't allow ball caps in there. However, a woman can wear a hat. So that's what I mean when I say you kind of, a little unfair, but I understand. They're trying to make it just a little nicer. One of the things that they prevent men from wearing inside the dining room are blue jeans. I have seen men wear it, so understand that, again, they're not going to send the clothes police after you. But if you are a rule follower and you want to kind of adhere to what the cruise lines are asking you to do, they do mandate that men wear some type of slacks. So typically Brandon will bring one pair of khakis, and let's face it, we all double duty clothes at times. And this he'll wear for dinner a couple times if we decide to go on like a fancy night. So this is a must pack if you plan on doing the fancy dinners. Cash. We always bring some cash. All of your spending on the cruise will be on that card. And there'll be another video later to describe more of that. But as far as like packing, this is why I'm including the money thing in the packing part of this video, or this series. We always bring cash. We try to do a lot of small bills, some 10s, 5s, some 20s, whatever, just small denominations. And depending on the length of the cruise, typically we like to bring at least $100 in cash. A lot of times we've come home with half of it. We don't necessarily expect to spend every dime of it, but we have it if we need it. This cash goes to tip a little extra for people that go way out of their way to help us. Our room steward, we always give them a little extra cash at the end of the cruise, or on the first day when he always comes by, or she always comes by to ask, to introduce themselves and to ask you kind of how you like things. The big thing I always tell them is I need lots of towels, and I like a bucket of ice in the room in the evening, just because I stay thirsty all the time and I don't want to leave the room to have to go all the way down to the Lido deck or wherever to get ice water. So he will leave those items, like I said, the towels and that ice in our room for us each and every day. So just to kind of encourage him to keep doing it, I will slide him a little cash on the first day after he does it, just as a thank you, because they so deserve this. You'll find at night, especially when you're going to dinner or you're hanging around the boat, you may want to have a little bag handy that you can put stuff in instead of having to carry it around or making your husband put it in his pockets. So the items that I've shown you today are things that I feel are well worth the expense, that are going to make your trip a little more organized, a little more helpful, that under 50 bucks you can kind of buy this little collection of things that is usable time and time again, and not just for cruising. It could be for any vacation. So again, I'm sure there's lots of other ideas out there. These are just the ones that the Kincaids have found are really great for us.